struggling to worship through our pain. Maybe some of us in this room are struggling to worship through the fire that we're in right now. Maybe even some of us are struggling to worship through what we're going through the path that God has you on right now. And it might even seem like a detour, but you got to remember that with every detour comes construction, and it might not feel like it, it might not seem like it, but God is working behind the scenes on your behalf. You see, when God gives you direction, He rarely gives you the details, because He doesn't want you to put your faith on the route. He wants you to put your faith on the one who created the route. Oh, He's speaking to somebody here today. Let me give you some context to what we're singing about, another in the fire. You see, in Daniel, the book of Daniel, King Nebuchadnezzar built this 90-foot statue, this idol, and he said everybody in the land needs to bow down and worship this idol, worship this God. 3 men, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, they actually raised their hand and say, we actually can't worship your God because there's actually only one living God, the true living God. That is the King of Kings, the Lord of Lords. That's the God we serve. So King Nebuchadnezzar, in his anger, he commands his soldiers to go and throw these 3 men in the fire. Not just hot, but he wanted it to be 7 times the heat of what it usually is. So Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, they're actually walking towards the fire. And I have this picture in my mind. I could only imagine them saying, God, is this really the route you want me to take? Is this, because if there's another route, this would be the time to let me know. God, if you were ever going to show up in our life, if you were ever going to come down from heaven in your cape and save the day, this would be the ideal time for you to do that. We're getting closer and closer to the fire. My faith is big, God. My faith is huge, but my faith is not fireproof. It picks up in the book of Daniel chapter 3, verse 21. It says, so they tied them up and threw them into the furnace, fully dressed in their pants, turbans, robes, and other garments. And because the king in his anger had demanded such a hot fire in the furnace, the flames killed the soldiers as they threw the 3 men in. Oh, the story's changing here. So Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, securely tied, fell into the roaring flames. But suddenly, somebody shout suddenly. Oh, I said somebody shout suddenly. When that word comes up in scripture, that's the code word for God's about to do something amazing. King Nebuchadnezzar jumped up in amazement and exclaimed to his advisors, didn't we tie up 3 men and throw them into the furnace? Oh, I need some help on this side. Didn't we throw 3 men into the furnace? They responded, yes, your majesty, we certainly did. They replied, look, King Nebuchadnezzar shouts, look, I don't see 3 men anymore. I see 1, 2, 3, 4, and that 4th looks like the Son of God. I said that 4th looks like the Son of God. Listen, if you're going through a pit, whatever